This movie feels like an ad for Glenn Powell's acting. I'm in Salad and I saw Hitman. It is written and directed by Richard Linklater with help Glenn Powell. And if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This movie follows Glenn Powell's character. He plays Gary and Ron. Gary is a professor at a university, and Ron is a hitman. A fake hitman, undercover hitman for the police. Gary likes to do this whole costume thing. He changes his look depending on which person he's meeting up with. He meets up with this chick, and she's like, can you get rid of my husband? You know, he's doing some abuse on me. And Ron is specifically the character that he is when he meets her, and her name is Madison. He's like, I'm gonna let you go. You should not be here. Personally, I like that. It shows a little bit of humanity. But I do also think that is an appropriate response to be like, why did you let her go? Which is what the other police officers are asking him. There's this other guy named Jasper. He'd normally be doing the negotiations, but he was off. He was on probation, and now he's back, and now he's seeing that Gary is doing his job very well. It seems like Jasper has a bone to pick. He immediately sees that he lets her go and was like, are you guys doing something? Turns out they are. Gary, as Ron, meet up with Madison again, and they hit it off. So much so as they start having a lot of sex with each other, and even a relationship. I don't know what type of ethical things are being broken here, ethical rules. I don't know. It feels a little off to me, personally. But Jasper's like, you know, there's something between you guys. Even to the point where he meets them in public, hanging out together. Who are you? Oh, yeah, I remember. I don't know if I remember you, but I remember your face is very familiar. And then they have a meeting with the police, and police are like, okay, we got a lead. Turns out Madison is the lead suspect for the murder of her husband that she was trying to get hitmaned. I like how Ron's like, oh no, I might be the person who let her get all confident to do this because I taught her how to shoot that gun in the way that the husband died in. Oops, what did I do here? And so Gary's like, oh, well, I just kind of gotta stay quiet, go along with the plan. Jasper is on his case like, have you been seeing her outside? Actually, I did catch you that one time. What were you doing there? And he just puts Gary in a peculiar situation. He has to explain it himself. I explained Act 1 and Act 2. It's setting up somewhere, right? Do you think the third act would follow through, you know, logically? I'm thinking, what could happen? Does he get caught? Something more insane happens. Jasper convinces Gary to wear a mic, a hot mic, walking up to her. I like this. He has a phone. A bunch of stuff has been texted on it, like a notepad. Walking up to her. Knock, knock. Has the, hey, look at this on the phone, but also is saying something else. And so basically, by the end of this interaction, they're saying doublespeak. They're saying the opposite, because the opposite of what they mean. Like, get out of my life, get out, meow. And they're looking at each other, and they look like they're going to have sex again. You know, I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then later on, he comes to her house, and guess who's there? Jasper's there. And she's like, hey, I invited him in, and I gave him some beers. And of course, Gary's like, what? And then she has ended up drugging him, and so Jasper is now passed out unconscious. And I like that Gary has hit his tipping point. He's like, what? I am actually not a hitman. I work undercover for the police. And now Madison's like, what? You know, she's freaking out. What are we going to do? Get this. Gary goes underneath the sink, grabs a plastic bag, puts it over Jasper's head, ties it off. And he's still breathing. They just got away with Jasper's death. Because they don't follow up on the scene. They just have sex after this. They're like, oh my goodness, we just killed a person. That's so hot. I'm like, what? No, no. What are we gonna do with the body? You're not gonna show me at all what you're gonna do with the body? No, let's just skip to like 8 years, 10 years, how many years in the future, and they have a family together, and the children are like, Mommy, Daddy, how did you guys meet up with each other? And then the movie's like them looking at each other. What do we say to our kids? Well, it began when, and then that's the freaking end of the movie. And I watched this, was like, wait, okay. So you got me in the first and second act. Interesting premise. I also think that all the different costume changes is to show off how Glen Powell will look in different costumes, and he has a completely different look with different characters. He'll look like a stoner Hawaiian surfer dude, very successfully, and a well-kept guy in a suit. Completely different looks. He pulls off both looks. He pulls off all the looks that he does in this movie. I will say he's good at that, and he's a good actor too. I think he's a good actor. I just think the third act, I cannot suspend my disbelief. I don't believe it happened. I feel like they got caught. They have to have been caught. Oh man, I mentioned that he was a university teacher. The university scenes just are a reflection of what he's thinking about at the time he teaches the lesson. There's not really a true purpose to his university classes except for that. This movie is weird, this movie is interesting. Would I watch it again? No. But it's interesting. Glen Powell, I want to see him more things. Let me know what you think of this movie. Let me know what you think of Glen Powell, the actor. I gotta give this, it's a 6.3 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want a fast track movie, you can do that for $20. Dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you like to help support the daily grind, it is of all the daily movies, go to this Linktree. By the way, you can help support the daily grind of all the daily movies, so go here. And until next time, I'm in salad sauce. See you later by salad croutons and bacon bits.